because not only am I not working, but neither is my husband. And we have to renew our mortgage. And I have to renew that mortgage before they find out that I am not working.
Those little increases are not that little on those budgets. It means the difference between, am I going to buy yogurt and cheese, or am I just going to buy cheese?
The economy is tanking, people are getting into terrible situations, and they're on the verge of losing their home. And all Mark Carney can do is blame it on Trump. Let's get to this.
And the situation that we're in as a country, which is we are in an economic crisis that's brought on, I'm going to answer the question, brought on by the tariffs that have been put on Canada, actual and prospective. One of the challenges...
The economic crisis was brought on by former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
As you can see there, he is a completely deranged lunatic that obviously cannot be trusted. And I'm not saying, the Conservatives are all better, but it just goes to show he's completely negligent to what he's done as obviously economic advisor to Justin Trudeau. He obviously doesn't have a clue. And after inflating housing bubbles in Canada and the UK and then claiming to walk away from those as some guy who's smelling of roses is once again just showing you. So anyway, the CFIB business barometer, guys, this has tanked. It fell off a cliff here. If we pull this out to a 5-year, just look at this. This is absolutely insane and is showing you how many people are about to be laid off here, unfortunately. Make no mistake, that is not something I want to say, but it is very likely when you've got small business sentiment that is collapsing like this. So it's down at 25 points. It's actually tanked more than it did during the depths of the pandemic. So if anyone can think about it right now and think warning bells should be going off in your head right now, because if you look at this thing, it's down to the lowest recorded level in all history, and this goes all the way back 25 years, guys. This is not good at all. It has just fell off a cliff here, and obviously we've still got interest rates that historically are actually not that low, so that's putting pressure on lots of businesses who have tons and tons of debt. We now have inflation as well that's high, and it's not just Canada. The United States, consumer confidence is falling drastically in the United States as well. And not only that, look at the Eurozone. Consumer confidence falls more than expected in March. And you go to this, Eurozone consumer sentiment deteriorated more than anticipated in March, underlining concerns over economic momentum as the region faces the threat of US trade tariffs. And the thing is, a lot of these costs that are going to be paid as countries retaliate and different things like that, you have to remember the money's not out there. People don't have it to spend, so they're going to be reducing their spending somewhere else if they're going to increase their spending on this product that now has tariffs on it, or they're just not going to buy it, which is going to lead to a manufacturer's decline, which will affect all countries. So it's just an absolute disaster, the economic plan of tariffs, and they're being pursued by all countries now. It's not just the United States. The United States started it, definitely. And then basically you've got nearly half of small businesses do not see the United States as a reliable partner. So this is really interesting, plays right into the hands of China, in my opinion. A new report by the Canadian Federation of Independent Business says 47% of small businesses do not consider the US a reliable trading partner. The business group says the disruption caused by the US-Canada trade tariffs is causing business owners to shift suppliers' investments to domestic and international markets other than the US, at the cost of the consumer, though. Regardless of what happens here, if they're shifting supply chains, moving manufacturing, there's going to be a cost increase there. And here's the thing, even if you believe that the tariffs in the United States, for example, are going to bring back manufacturing because a few companies that previously already announced plans to move their manufacturing to the US are just now now doing it essentially, then you're crazy. Because what it will lead to is the cost of goods that are produced in the United States exploding, and then they'll go to export them, and other countries will be comparing them to Chinese goods and be going more with China. So it will make the US weaker over time, and it will make China much stronger. I mean, this is exactly what happens though when you have a weakening superpower and a dying superpower, as all empires rise and fall. And we're definitely in the fall right now. It's clear to see. I would highly recommend you read Ray Dalio's book. It's a very insightful book. CFIB says small businesses are promoting Canadian-made products, delaying and/or cancelling expansion plans and exploring international alternatives. But only 3 in 10 say they are confident their actions will help offset the impact of the trade war. Yeah, and you've got loads of companies that are closing. I mean, I saw lots of steel workers are getting laid off. I mean, business is just contracting right now. And it's not just a case of, oh, it's just Canada. Canada is the victim here. No, it's happening in the Eurozone. It's happening in the United States as well. And it's the global economy. It's a global recession that we're about to experience, which will be even worse because Canada is already in a recession and is already in just a terrible place. And then you've got the housing bubble in Canada. You've got insane losses that are going on like this. So you can see Shazzy posted this. Please follow Shazzy, Power of Sale Bloodbath. So again, people losing their homes. That person at the start of this video, how far are they away from losing their home? But a lot of people are on the verge of it, and costs are just increasing right now, and people haven't got the money. That's the main thing. So you can see that they listed this in 2023 at 1.25 million. It failed, and it's just gone down and sold for 990,000. And when this sold was actually 2021. So you can see here, the loss is just unbelievable. And then this loss is just absolutely crazy. So this is a 41% loss on a condo. And yeah, it's an expensive condo. Obviously, the luxury real estate market, that gets hit first, but it all filters down to the lower price ranges as now. So this one was bought for 1.5 million in 2021, and it just sold for $895,000 in 2025. So it just goes to show what is going on there. It's absolutely crazy. And then Canadian dollar data collapse signals recession. You basically got them talking about the CFIB business barometer here and the impact that that is going to have on the Canadian dollar. You've obviously got inflation's picked up, which is happening big time right now because of all the tariff adjustments in the supply chain. But like I said, people don't have the money. This is different to the inflation we saw in the pandemic, where there was mass money printing, where people were being given stimulus, whether directly or indirectly. Right now, we don't really have that going on. But definitely with the next prime minister, that could be something that happens. I think regardless of who gets in charge, you are going to see stimulus packages coming out. I mean, just look at Alberta as an example of that, because they are way more conservative than even the federal conservatives. So you know that there is stimulus coming on the way regardless, because people just don't understand it. And guess what? Tax cuts, they're stimulative too, even though you and I agree with them more because it causes a contraction of government. At least that's more likely, but they are still stimulative. People don't actually realize that unless you're actually increasing goods and services, then tax cuts are the same as just writing checks and giving it to people like they did back in 2021. And we're going to see more announcements of these stimulus programs because the labor market is about to get a lot worse.
There is heightened concern that U.S. tariffs will lead to higher food costs, impacting BC households already struggling to make ends meet.
Those little increases are not that little on those budgets. You know, it means the difference between, am I going to buy yogurt and cheese, or am I just going to buy cheese?
She worries the looming tariffs could mean more people will face food insecurity.
I mean, there you go. So more and more people are not going to be able to afford food. And we know that food is going to be one of the things that is majorly impacted here by the tariffs. And obviously, yeah, you can say buy Canadian, elbows up. But really, that's not actually any solution to the problem. I mean, all that is virtue signaling in essence. And it's actually putting people's standard of living down. Because guess what? If a grocery store stops stocking those US products and now they're only stocking the expensive Canadian products, well, how does that help the person who can't afford to eat in the first place and was already on a tight budget? Do you see how this kind of all plays out? It's exactly the same theme of the liberal economic collapse that we've seen over the past decade. And it's just going to continue here, unfortunately. Too much reliance on the housing bubble. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, I'd highly recommend that you check out this video here. And if you're looking for a VPN and you want the best VPN and to help out the channel, go to expressvpn.com/marketmania. I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.